What does transformation healing meaning to you? What challenging have you overcome that to transform who you are today? Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Welcome to our Transformation Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Riya Wang, a certified transformation healing coach. In this podcast show, I have invited my guests from all over the world come here to share the inspiration stories, knowledge, and to inspire with these stories, you can learn something from how do they overcome from the challenge. Be open and respect the different guidance that towards we in the world. When we start healing, the world will be a better place. Welcome to my guest today, the special guest, Angela. Welcome to our podcast, Angela.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Riya. It's a pleasure, and I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you, Angela. So I want to, before I introduce Angela, my amazing guest here, Angela, did I say your name correct? I want to say again, Angela, he is work with the major airline for 24 years and served the people like you said, Michelle Obama, Dalai Lama. Oh my gosh, Andrea, I want to know how is that feeling like that. Then before you answer my questions, I want to finish the interview of the Angela. Angela said his passion and mission is help this world end the suffering. His purpose is inspire and motivation individual souls in reconnecting with their true purpose, happiness, and fulfillment of their desire. So Angela is a certified meditation teacher, holistic health instructor, and well-being life coach. Angela, I was so excited and looking forward to hear your stories. Tell us a little bit, before we jump in with, tell us a little bit where you come from.
Thank you, Riya. Thank you for the introduction. I live in Southern California, in Calabasas, to be specific, near Los Angeles. So a big city, and I do come from another big city. I was born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And it's just a pleasure and privilege to be able to be born and raised in one culture and live and experience another one, such as the United States. So that's a little bit of a short version where I come from and where I am now.
Oh, absolutely, Andrea. You know, I relate with that. You can see my face, the Chinese face. So I was grew up in China, then moved to here 16 years ago. From different cultures, then come to America, that shift, and also sometimes have a little confusion, you know, with how do I in these different cultures than to live with our own purpose, to live with our true self. That sometimes is challenging.
Yeah, especially in the beginning. Change is challenging, especially in the beginning. And that was a big adjustment, a big shift for me as well, because like you said, it's different culture, different food, different music, different concept, different everything. So I was very fortunate to start on the East Coast, actually, and now I'm on the West Coast. So it was a little bit of a challenging, beginning, but we adjust and learn and grow, and here we are.
Yes, that's how we humans always learning. So life is the journey, like we are learning together. And I meet you is we are in the same child path that teaching program, right? So that was amazing. We meet so many amazing people together to learning to on the same journey. So when we talk about this same journey, how you transform, tell us a little bit, how do you shift from to being the airline for 24 years, then serve with the Barack Obama, Dalai Lama? How is that feeling like now shift become meditating teacher, the life coach? So that journey is quite a bit different, huh?
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. It is, it's like the whole universe. It's a big difference. And at the same time, if you break down and you go to the core, it has the same seed. So here I am, the same person coming from Brazil, living in the States, and now working for the airlines. And everything boils down to my deep soul purpose, which is to help, to serve. So I got the job at the airline initially just because I wanted to help. I wanted to serve my family. I wanted them to come visit me more often. And all of a sudden, I discovered that I was able to serve and help people in such a deep way. And with this opening to help others, what happened was the beauty of being helped, being exposed to people like you mentioned, Barack Obama and Deepak Chopra himself, knowing him and meeting him and having conversations with people, they're just amazing. And of course, the highlight comes down to meeting the Holiness, the Dalai Lama, which was an incredible experience. But it's all, like I said, it's different. But if you break down, it goes to the seed, my dharma, my purpose, which is to serve, to help people just be more connected with themselves, to be happy, to be lighter. You know, we take life so serious, and I helped a lot of people with big jobs and big roles in life, and I was just a little angel, just helping them travel through with more lightness, more love, more happiness.
I love that, Andrea. When I see you talk about your purpose, to help other people, I can see the light shining from your eyes. You know, when you have that excitement, you know how much you loved what you do. That is beautiful. When we talk about the serve the world, then help others. You know, I've been traveling around the world to study and to teaching how transformation healing can change in our lives, help us to bring more joy, fulfillment in our life. Tell me a little bit, what does transformation healing meaning to you, Andrea?
Thank you, Riya. That's such a deep question, and I love it so much to just feeling the healing transformation means to me. Well, it's a process, it's a journey. And it starts with awareness. It starts with that seed, going back to the concept of a seed. It's the seed that it's going to be a process. And I personally believe that releasing is part of healing. It's a huge part of it. It's a one step of 3-step process that I noticed that for myself. And then I guide my clients to go through. First is just to empty the mind, to clean the body, to really release whatever it is that's no longer serving us. We are exposed to toxins every day, and especially, for instance, working at the airport, we were very much exposed to the airplane fumes, for example. And I saw so many of my coworkers dying and being ill, and I realized detoxing is an essential part. So I love that. And I do that often with just the breath, you know, being aware of the breath, just cleansing breath. And then it's the connection. And then once you empty, once you clean, you connect with your deep, deep, true self, which is already inside of us. So through meditation, we are able to really connect with our inner peace, our inner power. I love to call our superpower that's already inside of us. And then just really practice. It's a daily thing. It's forever to keep that balance and practicing present moment awareness, mindfulness, and is just so important to just be here, right now. We're so rushed, and so many people don't even realize the whole day is gone by, the whole week's gone by, the month, the years, and they're like, what have I done in my life? So present moment awareness really closes the gap to just bringing us to the moment.
Yesterday, I was hiking with one of my friends. I haven't seen her almost 5 months. We just said, wow, we couldn't recognize the time pass by, just like you said, the days pass by, the weeks pass by, the months, the years pass by. Then living the life, what does it mean living the life have more meaningful if we don't aware everything was so fast pass by us? And you know, many people living their life with so much stress, they even don't know how to release. You talk about the release, declaration, that is the lifestyle, how to be mindfulness, but how? So here we would like you to share maybe few tips with the people, how we can be in the busyness. I think the society is so interesting. Now society give us somewhere become you are busy every day with everything you're doing. Busyness becomes proud. It's really busyness. That's how do you cause so much anxiety. Because you are too busy to doing everything, you forgot to slow down, to be enjoy, to find the beauty what is around you. Even you forgot how to have better connection with others, especially forgot how to connect with yourself. That's peace inside yourself. So, Angela, share a few words, share a few tips with us. How, when we are go through the busy schedule, we go through that all of the overwhelming things around us. How do we can calm down? We know it's connect with the inner self, but how? What is number one sense we can do that?
Very good, Riya. A couple of things really pop out as you're mentioning the word stress and the word slow down. So those are key things. Stress, as you mentioned, is the cause of the majority of the illnesses. So just by slowing down, how do you do that? The breath. You know, the breath is so powerful. It's our life force. We are breathing, thus we are alive. It's the first thing we do and the last thing we do. But it is the breath that you are aware of. So I guide myself and I guide others to just slow down and put everything aside for just a minute, 2 minutes. A lot of people say, I don't have time. 1 moment. So just putting everything aside for a moment and just being with your breath, realizing that every inhalation, you are bringing in life force and you can bring in relaxation. And as you exhale, you're letting go the stress. So the breath is my number one ally. And of course, meditation. Meditation has transformed my life tremendously. So I always meditate every single day for many, many, many years. I've been meditating, oh my goodness, for 35 years or more. But I do strongly recommend my clients and other people to practice meditation, because when you do practice the meditation, you start to slip into that gap, in that silence, the space where your true essence lives. So it's not like, oh, I have to go somewhere, busy, busy, busy. It's just quieting the mind. And I often say to my clients, slow down so you can speed up. So how many times, I'm sure you can probably relate, we're in a hurry and then we forget the key, then we have to go back, and then we leave, and then we come back. So we actually more efficient when we are slowing down, when we actually doing one thing at a time. Once upon a time, I used to think that multitasking was amazing. I used to think I was Superwoman and I could do a million things, but that didn't work out so well for me. But the experience led me to today to appreciate the present moment awareness much more. So yeah, the breath and meditation would be my huge ones. And of course, spending time with nature. When you mentioned you went for a hike, just spending time with nature, I guess that would be the third piece. And just taking your shoes off and connecting with the earth.
Then hug the tree.
Yes, hug the tree.
I love hug the tree. Every time I go to the hike, I always have to hug the tree first.
I love that. Yes, it's very important to understand, just like the mind and body are connected, our being is intrinsically connected with nature. And we can spend hours talking about that, but just spending time with nature really, and grounding ourselves, taking off our shoes, we're just always wearing shoes and blocking that huge energy, healing energy that's coming from earth. So yeah, breathing,
slow down,
and connecting with nature.
Just talk about, when you talk about the slow down, I realized this morning, because every morning I wake up, I will do meditation. Then after meditation, I do a little bit of yoga. So I only do 15 minutes yoga every day. Then when I'm doing, I still remember now, the funny things, when I'm doing like 10 minutes, then my mind started thinking, oh my gosh, I have that things I needed to do. Oh, I have the podcast coming soon. I needed to do that. Maybe I stop here. So that mind was started wondering, maybe I stop this yoga, then going to do something. Because then I suddenly realized it and cut off myself. Slow down. You need to finish that your 15 minutes routine. That sense doesn't go anywhere. You can do this. So when you cut off myself, then I started to slow down. I was laughing myself. Oh, that is, you see how we need to be aware every day. Even we are the teacher teaching people how to do this. Sometimes when you start doing things, you forgot. That's why daily practice is really, really important.
Yes, Riya. And it's funny you mentioned that, because this similar thought came to mind when I was meditating today, thinking, well, maybe I would just stop here so I can get more things done. And so, like you said, it's forever. This is not just because now we are teaching, it doesn't mean that we stop the distractions, right? And just like in our meditation, the thoughts, the sensations, they come and we acknowledge them with compassion. And I love that you actually gave yourself a smile, a laughter. You become the witness. You witness, we observe ourselves. We think it's actually funny. I love doing that too, going, oh, look at you. That's quite funny. So we become the observer. We become the observer, and we observe ourselves. We catch ourselves. Whereas 30 years ago, I would spend days in the spinning before I could catch myself. Now we do it in just sometimes a few seconds, and we laugh, and we go back.
I think we always talk about how to be mindfulness, how to be more awareness. this morning I was listening a book. I love to listen a book, talk about how to be more consciousness. This is really awareness, consciousness. The consciousness is come from our daily practice. No matter how much you learn, if you don't practice that, you couldn't be more connected. That, like you said, oh, in the before we are just busy. We probably couldn't cut off, couldn't recognize it. We are just keep running around like that, didn't know how to slow down. Now, as we practice more, then we can recognize that. And also, I want to share a story with you. It's really interesting. I think once I was meditating, I was listening the book. Then I was meditating for 2 hours when listening that book. Suddenly, I realized it. There have 3 of me. One me was listening the book. One is the me was trying to figure out what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. Then one of me was just sit there like a rock, then watch this another 2. So then I suddenly realized, whoa, there is 3 of me in this meditation stage.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it that stage, that the higher states of consciousness, right? We talked about these before, where we live, most of us just live in those 3 states that you just, awake, or you're asleep, or you're deep sleeping. But as we practice our meditation, we go through other states where you can really detach yourself and observe from these dimensional, we are dimensional beings. So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you and I could visualize you being in all that. And that's what I mentioned to my clients too. It's that we are not the thoughts we're having, we're just the observer. And when you become the observer, then you can help yourself, you can slow down, you can realize, you can catch, you make those conscious choices. I'm going to sit down and meditate, I'm going to do my yoga, that self-care that help us to empower ourselves so we can emanate that energy, right? Because look, I see you smiling, I want to smile, the people watching are going to be smiling. It's contagious. So our energy is so contagious. So that's beautiful.
Thank you, Andrea. I know, we can talk about the consciousness meditation forever, but the time passed by so fast. We have a few minutes left. So before we let you go, I would like to ask you, come here. So what is the number one, who will be your clients? Then who's your help? What type of people they will need more your help?
That's a very good question, Riya. I seem to attract people that actually had similar challenges that I had growing up. I used to be extremely fearful and anxious. I used to fear and anticipate and be in the future and so worry about the future. And so I specialize in helping people with their suffering from fear and anxiety. And those are it seems to be the majority of my clientele. And I mean, so many of us, including myself, I observe myself going back to that place of feeling a little bit anxious. Like we said, I catch myself faster, but I do help a lot of people that are suffering from anxiety, especially after COVID. There was so much fear inflicted in us.
Yes.
And I'm seeing more and more ripple effect of that fear-based anxiety of what's going to happen next. I don't know, and I need to know the control. So yeah, so anxiety is a big, it's big within my clients.
Yes, I was reading the article talk about in America, we have 40 million people experienced anxiety symptom. You know, a lot that even started with young age, before 21 years old. Then the kids from 17, teenager from 3 to 17, some people have earlier feeling of the symptoms of anxiety. But how many people really know they have that anxiety symptoms until they really cannot control, that affect their daily life? You know, anxiety started with early, be practiced meditation, definitely help the anxiety. And here we have a specialist, Adriana. So what is the best? That's wonderful, Adriana. I wanted to say thank you for help the people here. What is the best place people can find you? What is best information best way people can find you?
Thank you, Riya. Is the best way. We're so blessed that we have Zoom ability. So I have a website. My business name is ACG for my name, Adriana Chavez Gage. So acgwellness.com. You can connect with me through my website. You can email me, adriana@acgwellness.com. I'm on Instagram, Adri C. Gage. So those are the best 3 ways to connect with me.
Thank you, Adriana. Also, we will be post the link under there, have Adriana's all information. So if you just talk with Adriana, I like to hear your voice, just hear your voice, the way, how do you talk? I already feel more calm down. You know, I'm the dose of the visa. I speak is more fast. So your speaker is so slow and calm, bring that calm energy by talking with you.
Yes, it's amazing. Part of being a healer is through sound, right? And which you are such an expert. I enjoy so much listening to you, connecting with your magical bows. Yeah, so sound is big, it's huge. And I do feel that even before I knew that I was going to work into these, people would tell me, oh my gosh, just listening to you. Yeah, the voice, the sound, that vibrational effect it's a huge, easy, simple way to calm down. So thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's listening or watching this podcast. As we journey together on this unique path of self-discovering and healings, I'm reminded to be mindfulness of the small details in our lives. Even just little things happens, you know, which build a wonderful of the joy, compassion, love, and the connections. The number one thing is connect with your inner self, with your inner peace, with your heart. That's how we connect with others. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, everybody. If you have the story that you like to share with others, you know how to find me. Thank you, everyone. We are looking forward to see you next Tuesday. Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you so much, Riya.